I'm Jim Hamilton, rugby player and now rugby fan. When I mentioned I wanted to travel the world to see if other cultures love rugby as much as we do in Britain, I didn't think anyone would take me seriously. Luckily for me, someone did.
This is what makes us fight.
It's got a hole in it already. Is that from a shark?
No, our sharks are vegetarians here, man.
Time to get to the chopper!
At the southern tip of the African continent lies the beautiful country of South Africa. This is a place close to my heart. Remembering the early days back in 2001 where I played in Natal Sharks for one season, I loved it here. What a place. A lot has changed in the last 25 years since the fall of apartheid. A big divide between rich and poor still exists within here. A reputation for being rather unsafe. Not that I'm afraid. One thing that definitely unites this sport-crazy nation is rugby. Currently ranked 5th in the world and long considered as the powerhouses of rugby, the Springboks are renowned for their physical style of play, a bit of old school grit. I've travelled here to learn more about their culture and with its often complicated environment of rugby in South Africa. My journey starts from the coastal city of Port Elizabeth in the Eastern Cape. In case you are wondering, no, it's not named after the Queen. True story, apparently. Surrounded by loads of rural communities, this is the heartbeat of raw African rugby, with countless famous bat players hailing from this area. My first taste is touch rugby session on the outskirts of PE, in a suburb called Missionvale. From the looks of it, I seem to have travelled to the rougher side of town.
So I've come down to Missionvale Rugby Club, home of famous Blitzbox Sevens player Cecil Africa. Very different to anything that I've seen or I'm used to. But rugby's rugby, gonna get in amongst it. Let's see how I do.
From the outset, these lads seem pretty competitive, but this old dog's still got a few tricks up his sleeve that I can show him. Oh well, retirement may have just got to me there. I'll be honest, this is not the rugby style that I expected. Pace, stepping, and some serious skill.
They're quick, eh? They're quick.
I thought it was just about the physicality.
Well, I just checked that we weren't at altitude because I'm breathing through a straw. I actually thought they were children when I first turned up, but turns out when I got up close, they were actually men. They had beards, and they were very quick, but well impressed. Quality players.
Oh well, this old man will have to get his hands dirty now. I love rolling around the floor, bit of old school rugby, that's what I'm about. As the session draws to a close, it's time to find out what really makes this team tick. I speak with Joseph Jones, the Vice Chairman.
Just tell me what it means in this area and the community for rugby around here.
We are a very tight community when it comes to rugby. The community is very passionate about their rugby. For us as a club, we strive to bring the best out of our youngsters in the community and to bring the best out of our community. We are not privileged to have many things, but the little we have, we try to share it amongst our community.
I've obviously trained out on the pitch, very different to some of the international pitches I've trained on, but at the end of the day, it's a rugby pitch, isn't it? But what do you want to see the next few years? Like, what's your dream for this club?
Our main challenge at the moment is our facilities. That, as you can see, our field is not of the greatest. We are doing everything in our power to get our brand of rugby up to a standard where we can sit and enjoy the game of rugby in Missionvale.
Rugby never ceases to amaze me. Who would have thought that a place like this would have this amount of raw talent at its disposal? Unfortunately, the sad reality is opportunity doesn't come knocking easily in these parts. And while, to be fair, not in the distant past either. Welcome to the Adcock Stadium, one of the few places where in the past black players could apply their trade in the little-known South Africa Cup. I'm meeting two legends of the game, Charles Kleinboy and Temba Lunwamba.
You won the South Africa Cup many a times in the early 70s, I'm right in saying that. So, as clearly a very good player back in your time, was it difficult for you to be able to make it to the next level?
You know, it was just a pity that the laws of this country didn't allow us to play everybody. We couldn't play against the white people. And the type of rugby that we used to play was not a power rugby. It was a flair rugby.
Well, I can see that in the areas with the kids that we've seen and the adults in some of the townships that we've been around.
Now you have seen the black people of South Africa when they play rugby. You see beautiful rugby.
And again, I'm here as an outsider coming in, and rugby is rich in this area. And it's the same, you know, like we've seen the facilities are just, I think to say way below standard would be an understatement.
After unification '92, there were systems that were put in place of developing players from primary school level up to national level. But after '95, the World Cup of '95, that thing was stopped. And there were a lot of black players that went through in that system. That system is no more there. That system was bringing more players from the township and the northern areas to go and play provincial level and national level.
Something that I will never understand, not being able to play because of the colour of your skin. This meeting leaves me with more questions than answers. Where is all this talent actually going? So I'm off in search of answers. I head to the countryside to a little town called Alicedale. The coach fills me in on everything.
What's inspired the children here and the people of this town to pick up a rugby ball?
We want to stop this thing of crime, drug abuse.
And in Alicedale here, where we are, is there much crime? Has there been much crime over the years?
There was in the past, there was a lot of crime, but the only problem is 90% of the community of Alicedale are unemployed. You know, sometimes we had to take out money out of our own pockets so that the guys can play rugby, because we are doing it with the love of the game.
So I head off to the training field. The field conditions, it seems, are not the best, but the lads are already warming up and they're raring to go. I must say, it does feel like rugby's version of the Wild Wild West.
Some more balls.
Oh, thank you
As
very
well
much.
to play with.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, my pleasure. Yeah, thank you for having me. I know it's your holiday, right? Can I just join in with some of your drills, coach?
Twee lyn staan met 'n backline hy kant en 'n backline die kant. Come on, guys.
You lift me. You lift me. Oh, the old two-step lob. Oh, go, go, go. Oh, good hands. Go on, son. Oh, good tackle. Physical, eh?
Shoes, socks and footwear, they all seem optional. And here I decide we're just going to do a skill session. These kids are not afraid to get stuck in properly.
Oh!
These kids are possessed. They're running around like madmen. Right, after running around rugged for the last half an hour, it's time to hit the tackle bags for some crash ball training, right up my street. I know a thing or two about this part of the game.
For you players, tell me some of the things as well, some of the challenges of being a kid growing up in South Africa.
Sir, there's a lot of gangsters and people using drugs here in our community. So playing rugby keeps us away from using drugs and doing bad things.
It keeps us disciplined, so it gives us a choice.
You know, for me, in my country, and it's very different to you guys, but I grew up very poor, but rugby gave me a foundation as a man and as a human being. It gave me friendship, it gave me inclusivity. You know, it's been a real pleasure for me to come here and share the field with you, you know? Apart from you on the bag, you knocked me back, sore back. So, you know, but I really hope that you know, you carry on playing rugby, you know, you listen to the coaches because great people just spending time with you, and I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Alicedale Rugby! Yes! Alicedale Rugby! Yes! Alicedale Rugby! Yes! Alicedale Rugby! Yes!
Thank you, guys.
So as we say goodbye, it hits me. I'm leaving, I'll be heading back to the good old comfy UK soon, but these kids, well, this is all they've got.
So we've had a busy day today, and now we're off to the famous Nelson Mandela Stadium. We're going to chat all things the Kings, Pro 14 rugby, and let's just see how the land of rugby lies in Port Elizabeth.
Home to the Southern Kings, the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium was built for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. It is a formidable ground. As the Boks have only lost one test on this famous ground, it was actually against Scotland. Oh no, of course it wasn't. Anyway, I'm meeting up with the Union's president, Andre Radman.
Quality Stadium is steeped in a lot of history now, isn't it? It's become a bit of a fortress for the Springboks.
We're very proud to say it, and hopefully they'll come back because this is a place where they don't lose.
There's been a lot of changes for the Southern Kings over recent seasons, obviously now in the Pro 14. As the man heading that up and facilitating that, how's that been? What have the struggles been?
Well, I think what a lot of people don't realise, we did quite well in Super Rugby, and then unfortunately, because of a decision of SANZA, we were removed from the competition, put into Pro 14. We had to start to scratch, and it wasn't easy, that I can promise you.
And then on the pitch as well, the standard of Pro 14 has increased, especially over recent years. How have you found it watching it compared to the Super Rugby?
I think we underestimated Pro 14. The quality of playing and the quality of the games played. And at this stage, I'm going to be quite frank with you, we're finding it hard.
There's no quick fix, is there?
No.
You know, especially with the players that you mentioned. That's what I wanted to ask you about, because being in this province, my perception of South African rugby before was this hard-out brutality and force. Then I go and watch these townships and these raw diamonds playing, and it's all about speed. Like, you know, what's the identity of rugby in this province that you see?
If you look at what 76% of black players hails from this province, if you look at the talent at the moment, how many comes from here? You look at the Lekanyo Ams, Siya Kolisi, Makozola Mapimpi, that needs to be exposed to the game to get opportunities to play. And then I think the transformation agenda won't be so difficult to achieve, because they are there. The talent is definitely there.
But for someone, again, heading that up, you know, is there funds going into the kind of grassroots game further afield from, you know, this stadium?
Jim, can I make a statement? A lot of people probably laugh at this. If we can get the talent back that left this province, we will win the Currie Cup. We will be very, very competitive in all spheres of the game. Because what happens at the moment in this province, the moment they see talent, what you said is quite right. They take them into schools, and from standard 8, 9, standard 10, they already signed with big franchise and province. They leave already. And they leave this province without ever putting this jersey of this province over their head. And that's a sad reality of the Eastern Cape. The talent is here, but how do we keep them here?
Some intriguing questions, and hopefully someone comes up with a plan. As for me, it's time to unwind. If you like beaches, surfing and a good vibe, this is the place for you. Jeffreys Bay is where my summer holiday starts. Well, at least that's my plan anyway.
So it's morning Jeffreys Bay. I'm in the surf capital of South Africa, and I'm invited to go surfing. I live in the UK, the furthest point away from the sea. I know what you're all thinking, sharks. How you doing, sir? I'm Jim, pleased to meet you, kind of.
Welcome to Jeffreys Bay Surf School and to J Bay, man.
I would say that I'm excited, but I've never surfed in my life.
So we'll definitely show you the way.
Okay.
Right, we have a wetsuit here for you, man. Rest of the school there.
It's got a hole in it already. Is that from a shark or not? Is that from a shark?
No, our sharks are vegetarians here, man.
Vegetarian sharks, thank goodness for that.
All right, bro.
I've never seen myself as a water junkie, let alone a surfer. Although, I think being a surfer would be quite cool. But hey, there's a first time for everything. Please God, just no sharks. even the vegetarian type.
Nice one. All right. Cool. That's good. Okay, jump in my stand up.
Easy.
My stand up.
Hey, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Seems easy enough. All this training, I've been able to stand up on the board on the sand. Hey, it's a breeze. Well, perhaps not that easy. Still, I think I'm doing all right. At 6'8" and 120 kgs, I'm classed actually as a real-life giant. I actually think it's not too bad. So maybe it's that time where I need to blame the board and the fact that it's sinking, and my weight. Yeah, it definitely is. This wetsuit, everything, it's just not adding up. No wonder I can't surf.
I was up, see me up on the boards? No? I was up for a bit, weren't I?
Yeah, so I'll forward a couple times.
I surfed in South Africa in shark-infested waters. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, yeah, you should be.
Thanks very much. Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
As I leave J-Bay, you see what I've done there? That's what the cool people call it. Jeffreys Bay anyway. We head inland to a more African terrain. We're off to the bushveld. Addo Elephant National Park is one of the 21 national parks in the country, and I've always been a fan of safari and wildlife, so I'm really looking forward to this.
How you doing, mate? I'm Jim.
Jim, Jacques.
I love the bush.
Awesome.
Look at me. Jump in, I'm in the front, yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
I don't mind being treated to a bit of VIP now and then.
Addo Elephant National Park was established in 1931, proclaimed in 1931. And in the beginning, there were only 11 elephants. And so there was a massive outcry to save and protect these elephants. And then, yeah, from 1931, now 2018, the park has grown from a 2,000 hectare piece of property to over 176,000 hectares in size. And the elephant population has done tremendously well, from the 11 to over close to 600 elephants that roam through the park now.
600 elephants. Guess it's safe to say where the park's name comes from then. Yeah, pretty original.
Yeah, as you can see, some remains of eland bones that lions have taken down here a couple of months ago.
Lions? Just when I thought it was safe to use the bush toilet. Guess I'll hold it in now then.
Oh, I've just seen an elephant. Yeah, just literally through this gap here.
No kidding. Actual elephants. Eyes like a hawk, I'd say.
Beautiful landscape,
amazing.
beautiful place in South Africa. You can't ask more than that.
No, it's amazing. So as the sun goes down over the Eastern Cape, I've had an amazing time here. Rugged, raw, amazing people. What more could I have hoped for? Apart from a glass of wine and to put a steak on the braai.
So as I arrive into Cape Town, a place I've always loved, with some great people here, some great rugby men as well. It's part of the world I can't wait to get amongst it. There is so much to do and there's so much to see.
It's great to be back in Cape Town. What a world-class city, great people, some good memories here. But every time I'm back in Cape Town, I think of two things. I think of great white sharks. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I also think of wine. Of course I do. It's not even mid-morning and I've been invited to Stellenbosch to go and taste a little bit of wine.
Some interesting facts on Stellenbosch. It's famous for its wine, but also world-renowned production of Springbok legends.
So we've been invited to Annandale Farm to meet up with winemaker and Springbok legend, Hempis de Toy. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Big pause.
Hempis de Toy played in the lean international years of the 80s, earning his caps as prop. I mean, I'm not much of a wine connoisseur. From Scotland, I know a little bit about whiskey.
I'm fifth generation in winemaking, so wine was made by my dad, my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, so...
So the wine is literally in your blood?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. If they give me a blood transfusion, they'll use red wine and not blood.
You know, we're in this amazing room, see the memorabilia, but how much do you think about rugby, like the old days? I mean, I've only been retired a couple of years, so it's obviously still relatively new.
We played in very lean years of competition for the Springboks, but the times and the opportunities that we had, we really thoroughly enjoyed. To represent your country, you know yourself. I mean, every opportunity that you can pull that jersey, whether it's a Scottish jersey or the Springbok jersey over your head, that's the ultimate.
So you look at the game now and how professional it's gone, the money that's come into it. How does that make someone like you feel and look at it?
You know, I wouldn't change out my era for all the money in the world. It was so different. I think the camaraderie was different.
You look at it now with the TV and the TMOs, and we mentioned the money. Are you watching it like scratching your head, like that shouldn't have been picked up, so if there's an incident off the ball?
I think there are very few referees that can really tell who's the culprit when a scrum collapses.
No, I agree with you. I think that...
It's one for you, one for me.
Yeah, but in the good old days, you'd sort it out
Sure.
the good old way, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Is that how you find it? Yeah, here in Stellenbosch, I've got a lot of good friends that come from here, Scout Berger, Scout Brits from this area, Ernst Hubert, Neil de Kock.
Yes.
Do they breed rugby players here of world-class heritage? Is it the wine?
They do.
What is it?
It's home to wine and home to rugby.
Thank you for having me. It's
been pleasure.
Great. So I've had a great day on Alicedale Farm. I've got a box of wine here steeped with blood, sweat, history, and a few stories as well. We've had a great day. Oh, they're heavy. So we're off to Khayelitsha now. I'm excited to go there, a little bit nervous. It's a local township. My knowledge of townships they can be quite dangerous, so I am a little bit nervous about that. So yeah, the perception is the townships are not a place for people like me, especially if you look like a real-life giant. You never know though, I might just blend in and not stick out.
Okay, Jim. See you there.
I ain't getting out here on my own. So I've been told I need to look out for a garage called Tiki's that sells coffee. Well, I'm a big coffee fan. I got a bit of a sweat on.
Hey, Jim.
Hello, sir. How are you?
This is how we shake in South Africa, yeah? Yeah?
Okay.
Proper.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, it's strong.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
This is my mom's garage.
Okay.
So that I have converted to a coffee shop.
Yeah. All corners of the world, everyone loves a coffee and a barbecue and a braai.
Barbecue, yes, definitely.
So after a quick coffee, I get a guided tour of the township on a kid's bike.
So this is your one, Jim.
Okay.
So the rule is that no helmet, no ride. So you need a helmet to ride.
Helmet,
I've got a very big head here.
Siki.
I don't think I look that cool. How do I look? Good?
Yeah, let me hold.
Yeah, they're different helmets in South Africa.
Let me hold.
To what I'm used to. There we go. Look, yeah, look cool. Yeah. The area here, you know, for someone from the UK coming over, seems relatively safe.
Does not look even like a township.
No.
Yeah.
But it's still classed as a township.
It is. So this community right here, it's where you find your middle income people in a township. And so there's a huge difference between the two. Taking the left.
Okay. It's me who was worried about the dangers, but it's actually me that seems to be the dangerous one, as I nearly run over an old boy.
Sorry,
Nearly run over the old boy.
Dad.
The dog's biting bikes. And do you all play rugby? And what's your position, did you say?
Flank.
Flanker. But who's your favourite player?
Jamie McKenzie.
His favourite player's an All Black.
My name is Porth. I like.
Have you heard of Jim Hamilton before? Not yet. You need to look out for him.
Have you ever played rugby?
Yeah, for Scotland.
You'll be like Eben Elizabeth.
Eben who?
Eben Elizabeth.
Never heard of him.
Is this kid actually for real? A Scottish legend comes to your town and all they can talk about is Eben Elizabeth.
Right behind you. Right behind him.
I was always known as a cyclist. Yeah, I was drinking wine this morning.
Let's go. Oh, you're coming from Stellenbosch. Sure,
Yeah.
bruh.
So everyone out on the streets, eating, partying.
Yeah.
It's Friday though.
Yep. All weekends long, the Spine Road is known for the partying.
Cycling around was really interesting to see so much going on. Cooking, drinking beers from the back of the cars. But I can tell you what, everyone was smiling and everyone was laughing. Anyway, it's time to get off this kid's bike. My ass is killing me.
Oh, we're here?
Yep.
Okay. Thankfully, because my legs are in pieces.
Welcome. So we call this a walkway. This was an initiative by the students of University of Stellenbosch. So where you're sitting right now, it's the only frame board in a township. There are 7 of these in Cape Town, and this is the 7th one in Khayelitsha. So this came about to be a campaign where people can SMS these digits to apply for Table Mountain to become one of the 7 wonders. But of course, Table Mountain from this direction, it does not look like a Table Mountain. So I would like you guys to use your imagination to run wild and look at the Table Mountain and tell me, what do you see?
Someone lying down sleeping?
Wow, we call that a sleeping giant. That's what we call it. From this side.
Really?
You got it, you got it.
And that wasn't scripted either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sleeping giant. That's what we call it this side.
As a township, because we spoke about it, and walking around and cycling around, as a foreigner, what's perceived as a foreign person, but everyone was smiling, the kids were happy, I was welcomed with open arms. One of the first kids that came up to me was Newman.
Yeah, Newman.
And Newman said, first thing, I play rugby.
Yeah. So sports is really something that's quite shaping the community.
So after a great stop-off point and some great insights of the township, it's time to have a braai and some food. The street food smells great, so I'm looking forward to getting amongst it and chowing down.
Thank you very much. And so this is called Chisanyama?
Yeah.
Chisanyama?
Chisanyama. So this is meat and sausage, right? And this is pap, and this is chakalaka.
Yeah.
Yeah, chakalaka imna. Can you say that?
Chakalaka imla.
Imna.
Imna.
Yeah. Imna.
Straight hands?
Careful.
Hands.
How's that?
Delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I'm actually glad I'm eating with my hands because I can get more in.
Try it, yeah.
I have something for you to taste, man. Yeah? This is a smile. It's a sheep's head.
It's a sheep's head?
Yeah.
Sheep's head?
Please.
Don't bring a knife.
A knife? Oh, so I'm allowed a knife now. After all that. Would you like me to cut you any?
You can actually have a tongue as well, yeah?
What?
So, yeah.
It's very nice.
I'm okay for the tongue. No, don't worry about that. I'm not eating the tongue. There's no chance.
This is what makes us fight.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Show you the way.
Oh my.
But everyone is the your attention.
And you shouldn't smile about it.
Yeah?
Good out!
Oh, you back on it?
Oh, Smiley's tongue is very smelly. Yeah? I'm not eating an eyeball. I'm not eating an eyeball. Did you zoom in on the bit of tongue that I had? It was massive, you see, it was about that long. My bit. It's the first time I've eaten a tongue. I was a little bit nervous coming into the township, but what a humbling experience. Got to meet some amazing people, got shown some amazing sights. Cheers, boys. Amazing kids. But now it's time to walk off my sheep's tongue. Poor sheep.
So I actually make it through to the next morning after finally digesting that sheep's tongue. It's going to be one busy day today. I can't wait.
So it's day 2 in Cape Town. I've got a busy day lined up. It's the day of the sevens. But before the sevens starts, I've got a load of stuff to do and I've been told to wait here by the producer to get picked up. Picked up? Is a horse coming to pick me up? I like bikes.
Hello, mate.
Are you here for me?
If your name was Jim.
That's me. That's me.
I'm here for you.
I love motorbikes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you ride a bike as well then.
So are you sitting in the? Are you sitting in here? Are you?
You're going to drive then, are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'll ride it. Oh, that is an absolute glove, Donald. Look at that.
There we go, now we're talking. Off we go, wind in my hair and the sun on my face. Even the little seat is quite comfortable now. Our endpoint is at the Two Oceans Aquarium. I love aquariums. Look at me, I'm a real tourist now.
Do I not get to keep the jacket?
No, not that way.
Two Oceans Aquarium? Okay. Oh, nice.
Containing marine animals from the Indian and Atlantic Ocean, this is a real tourist hotspot. Once again, I've got a bit of VIP treatment lined up. Isn't it nice to be me?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. They've not told me anything. I've rocked up on a motorbike and now I can see and smell penguins.
You're going to join us for a very special morning commute. Are you
So
ready?
I'm facilitating the traffic, is basically what you're saying. They look kind of rock and roll, don't they? You know, when you look at like a penguin.
There we go.
Oh, this
you
one's
clearly
waiting.
know how to talk penguin.
Yeah, he's waiting for this mate.
Big fan of penguins. They look like a bunch of props trying to make the ruck in time.
Hey!
So they've all got their diving style.
You see one of them shit itself when it walked past a shark? It stops.
Got to love these birds. Next up on the agenda, diving. Inside the fish tank. In a nice, hand-me-down wetsuit. First time for everything, I guess.
Oh, this thing's a bit tight.
Luckily, I can't see any sharks. Just biting turtles and stingrays. Stingrays? Anyway, real safe for a tough bloke like me.
So we've had a great morning at the Two Oceans Aquarium. Got to see so many different things, got to play with some penguins. But the day's not done. Before we head to the Sevens, we're off to the Bo-Kaap. Heard it's quite a colourful place. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
With colourful buildings all around, the Bo-Kaap is a hub for wannabe professionals and amateur photographers. I'm meeting up with a local tour guide, Shireen.
How you doing? I'm Jim.
Hi Tim, Shireen.
Pleased to meet you,
Assalamu
Shireen.
alaikum. Welcome to the Bo-Kaap area.
Okay, it's lovely and colourful. Why so colourful?
It's only for the last 15 to 20 years that these brighter colours have come out.
Okay.
It was always pale pastel shades.
With a fascinating history dating back to Malaysian merchants, this is a food hotspot, and spices are on the menu. I do love a curry. Well, a chicken korma, if you can actually call that a curry.
Spices are not only used for cooking purposes, they're used for health purposes as well. And so just to give you a little tip,
Yeah.
your masala has 11 different spices into it. The 12th spice in here is curry leaves. If you take 9 to 11 curry leaves, steep it in boiling water, drink a tot glass in the morning, it brings your cholesterol levels down.
Really? Do I look like I have high cholesterol?
If you like good food,
I like good
you're going
food.
to have cholesterol.
Yes, of course.
Shireen is taking me to meet the legendary, the mythical Uncle Haddy, a member of the infamous Cape Crusaders. Basically, it's locals supporting the New Zealand teams and not the South African ones. Sounds a bit odd, especially if you were born in South Africa.
So Hardy, it's a pleasure to meet you. Apparently, you are a famous man. Tell me why in these parts the name Hardy, Cape Crusaders is a myth to me and to many rugby fans.
Through the apartheid years, the reason why we adopted the Crusaders is because we didn't have the opportunity to represent our country. And we adopted a country like New Zealand and a team like Crusaders
which similarly played the rugby that we used to play, the Malay rugby. We call it the Malay rugby. Yeah? Rugby to us was not only a brute force game, it was an intelligence game.
So let me get this right. So you were born in South Africa, in Cape Town, yet you don't support the national team or never have?
We did when we was young. But as we grow older, when the Rivonia trial came in with the ANC Mandela being inhibited, then it became more political. So we adopted New Zealand to give us that sort of a satisfaction against the national team.
Because they were inclusive?
They were inclusive at the time.
So, and when they toured, they came over, the Maori
When they
descent?
told me, they were also denied to come over.
Why?
Yes, because they had the Maori with them.
Really?
That's
so it was that political that the New Zealand national team would travel, or if they couldn't travel because they had players from
couldn't come
Maori
to South
descent?
Africa because they had the Maori in the team.
And so you look at where the political stance in South Africa, but probably more so the national team, how far they've evolved, after '95, going forward to today, where Siya Kolisi is now captain of the national team. Does that change your stance, or is it what's done is done?
No, not at all. You see, Kolisi doesn't come from our schools. He comes from, I'll use the word, white schools, the elite schools. Our schools is going down. They've got a Caribbean week system, right? So if you don't come through that system, you will never be seen out. Because it was said in our time, the Springbok blazer is only for a white man. By the late Dr. Kani Craven. The Springbok baadjie is net for the white man.
And now, is there a younger generation of Cape Crusaders coming through?
Yeah, they're still there. But that's why they never play at Newlands. You don't want to play at Newlands, even the tests. They can say always avoid the Newlands because the amount of supporters they've got there. The Crusaders play, there's a massive support of the Crusaders. It's still like that, basically.
Obviously, the history has really left its mark on Hadi and his group. It's not hard to understand why, though. After the meeting, we enjoy a delicious Malay curry. And it's good. Well, it's that time. It's time to head to the Cape Town Sevens.
Time to get to the chopper!
The last bit of VIP treatment that I wanted. Not that I deserve. Fancy a flip? So Cape Town Stadium is another 2010 FIFA stadium. With a capacity of 55,000, it's now the proud host of the South African Sevens leg. So we're at Cape Town Stadium, it's the day of the Sevens. Apparently, one of the best places to watch rugby and the atmosphere. Unbelievable vibe, loads of people, fancy dress galore. We're going to go and speak to a few of them, see who they're supporting, see what they're dressed as, just see if they're coherent. Oh God, no, don't hit me with that. Where you heading? I got you.
The beer gods.
Blow the whistle if anyone doesn't have a beer in their hand.
Okay. For a pint of beer, guard piss. You look like very established gentlemen.
Fancy boys with clockwork orange, we're doing it like that for the HSBC Sevens.
Fans, madness, excitement. Anyway, it's time to snap out of this. I've been granted a special interview with Springbok captain Siya Kolisi. And it's time to get my game face on. Apparently, Ebenezer, he's in the stadium as well, so I need to keep the noise down. Can you tell me that Ebenezer and his family are looking for me?
Yeah, they're looking for you. As soon as you send me the message you've landed, I send it to him. So he's gone for a few drinks, then he's going to meet you later.
We hurry up this interview and then I'm out of here. If it was just Eben, it'd be fine.
It's his whole family.
Mate, don't tell me that. But interestingly, or maybe not that interestingly, I was looking to when you made your debut, where you played Scotland.
Yeah.
And there was an incident that happened on the pitch. Basically, I beat up Ebenezer and I got yellow carded. You came on, and both them instances changed the game.
It was special for me because my dad watched me for the first time that day. So yeah, it was a special game, and I still remember your fight. It was on the touchline with Evan, and I think you lost that one. You started it, but you didn't finish it.
I definitely did. That is my legacy is my interaction with Eben. But for you personally, we mentioned it's been an unbelievable year. It's probably gone so quickly for you, but you've made history this year by becoming captain of this team. How was that moment when it initially came around, and how are you dealing with the added pressure that it would have just being captain for any team?
It was tough for me at the beginning, I won't lie. I thought I was handling it well. I was trying to focus on the work, but my game wasn't up to standard in June. It wasn't the way I would like it to be.
Was it the added pressure? Was it the worry?
It's how big it was, how people talking about when Mandela won the number 6 jersey.
Yeah, it was national news, wasn't it, for you?
When Pina won that, all of that, and I'm the first black captain in 125 or 27 years. And I told the people as well, I'm proud to be black, but I'm just proud to be Springbok captain, not to be the first. That's not a big thing for me. Just being Springbok captain is huge enough.
I know that you do a lot behind the scenes in terms of giving back. Just tell me a little bit about kind of what you get up to there.
Yeah, so I'm from PE, a township called Zwede, and I started playing rugby in a club called African Bombers. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. We played on a field where it's full of thorns, but we had to play barefoot, so it was difficult. So we had to kind of run fast, so you don't step on all the thorns. Although we didn't have a lot in the club, it honestly changed my life. It made me such a better person, and the community as well supported us, and to make sure that I perform, because I know the better I do, the more people want to work with me and the more I can give back to my community. Because I know how tough it is in the township, and one ball, one t-shirt makes 10 other kids want to come to training because they want to be part of something, I actually want, at the end of the day, where the kids in the township play against the kids in the suburbs, and make sure that the kids in the township have the same equipment and same opportunities in the kids in town.
So having met with Sia, it was really interesting to see the pressures that he was under. It was also good to see him with a smile on his face, and the understanding that South African rugby is in great hands with him at the helm as captain. My journey to South Africa has been one of distance, but also about learning of new cultures, meeting some amazing people and getting a real insight into both the developed side of rugby, but also the poor side. Going to the townships are some of the most humbling moments I've had in my life, not just as a rugby player, but as a man. I'll welcome anyone to come here and see it for themselves. South Africa, you've been amazing.